We got time on our side. When I stayed home, I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona, coming to you live from the Ironwood Forest National Monument here in sunny and warm Arizona. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's see who we have here. First person and channel member in the house is Gracie and Jacques Adventures. I was watching their videos this morning, and Gracie did a real cute video, which I posted here, of Jacques playing in camp there. And there's also another video on our channel where Jacques did his first swim. So if you don't know Gracie and Jacques Adventures, be sure to check them out. What are you going to do with the snake? Oh, I'll let you know, Gracie, in a minute. I'll let you know. So there's a hint. We had a unscheduled visitor stop by a couple of days ago, and we do live in the desert, and so we expect to see these critters stop by once in a while. And I have a little bit to show you about that. So Dave Wanders is here. He's up there in the cool pines in Forest Lakes, Arizona. I know exactly where you're at, Dave, at least Forest Lakes anyway. Beautiful area and nice and cool up there. Wishing everyone well. See who else we have here. So that one little video I shared there of flying over the cornfield, they're actually growing corn down here in Marana. Everybody has probably heard of Monsanto's. They got in some hot water recently, well, a few years ago. And so they had a facility out here in the desert that they built to basically modify seeds. It's a big greenhouse, and they do that type of work. And the word that I got is they're modifying corn seed to grow down here in the desert in southern Arizona. It does take a lot of water, but it looks like they figured it out. Another channel member here, CR View. Good morning, Tim, Gracie, and Crystal. Good to see you. Another channel member here in the house, Mo Bang for Your Bucks. Good morning, Tim. Tim is over in Chicago with his son, getting him set up to be an adult and live over there. So good to see you, Tim. Hope you're doing well and staying safe over there in Chicago. Yeah, it could be for ethanol. I'm not sure. I need to do a little more research to find out why are they growing corn down here in Arizona, because it makes you wonder. I do see that they let it dry out completely before they cut it down. They don't pick it. They don't go through and pick it like they do in the Midwest for eating corn. So I'm assuming maybe it's ethanol or something, maybe feed corn or something like that. Catherine Cook is in the house. Good morning, Catherine. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Are you guys still up there in Show Low area? Ethanol is not green at all, yeah. It takes a lot of energy to make it, I guess. And they actually put some ethanol in the gasoline down here in the wintertime because we get this inversion thing going in the winter and the pollution starts to settle. And so their fix for it is to mix some ethanol into the gas. And the vehicles don't run quite as well. They don't get as good a fuel mileage, but I guess it helps with pollution. Steve and Tina Jewell are here. Good morning. Good morning. I missed their live stream on Sunday. They usually have a really fun live stream with some interesting questions and trivia. Always a good time. Look at this. We got Badge in the house. Hello, gang. It's Monday. Yeah, baby. Good to see you, Badge. Hope you're doing well. Badge, I'm not sure you would like it down here right now. It's a little warm. What's the weather here in Marana, Arizona today?
Expect some clear skies today.
Oh, it's going to be clear. No rain. Low was 73, was actually 69 here. But it's going to be 108 degrees Fahrenheit. 108 degrees Fahrenheit. What do you think, Badge? Can you handle that? It's tough. So you guys up in Canada and in other places have your winters where you hibernate and stay inside when it's cold out. Well, we have our summers. And so I go out first thing in the morning, do some chores around the place, and then 9, 10 o'clock when it starts pushing 100 degrees, then we come inside and guess what we do? Guess what we do? I wrangle snakes. Yep. Sometimes we wrangle a few snakes. and then post YouTube videos. What do you think? Scrolling. Everybody saying hi. She Devil Adventures is here. Good morning. I need to catch up with her videos. She's working on a bus build. Looks like it's going pretty well. She's working and lurking. So good to see you here, Tommy. Thank you very much. Yeah, we love our Canadian friends, that's for sure. YouTube makes the world a lot smaller. We learn, we make friends. That's really cool. All right, so Badge is on his phone. So he's doing a blanket hello, everybody. Catching up with the chat. The Badge in the house. There's Catherine. I think I said hi to you, Catherine. Lily is here. Good morning, Lily. Good to have you. Scrolling. Oh, need a sip of coffee. So I went out early this morning and played with Lucas a little bit. He likes to play fetch his ball. So I did that about 140 times. He's still not wore out yet. Got to thank Jane and Richard for an awesome weekend. Cool. Michelle. There's Susan. Good morning, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Are you keeping Dave straight up there in the forest? I think he gets a little antsy if he gets too cool. So if you guys get cold up there, it's 108 down here. So you can stop by and warm up a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. 68 degrees, he says. Yeah, Lucas learns real quick, that's for sure. Another channel member in the house, Roy and Becky's Travels, and I'm guessing that is Roy. Good morning, Roy. Roy is coming up live here at 10 o'clock Arizona time, so in an hour and 45 minutes. And anyone who wants to drop links for your live streams, feel free to do that, or channel links, whatever you want to do is good. Scrolling, everybody saying hello. Oh yeah, the world according to Monsanto. Watch this Monsanto, good or bad? Well, I guess they were sued, class action lawsuits, and I think they sold this facility down here. And it actually belongs to Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R. There's Ava Potterfield. Good morning, Ava. Good to have you. I always start Monday morning off with Ava Potterfield and friends and enjoy a cup of coffee in the chat. She also does a Friday evening, and I think we missed it last week, but she does a Friday evening music session, her and Doug. Always fun to watch that while we're eating dinner. Ethanol is awesome, keeps me working, Badge says. Doing repairs, Badge, I suppose. Lily says 108 is too hot for her. What's the temperature going to be where you're at, Lily? And Roy, are you close to 108 today? Dave says, say no to 100 plus. 62. You could stick to 100. Yeah. Oh, Joy is here. Smoky Mountains blessed. Good morning. Good morning. Been up since 4:15 trying to get a video out. Oh, Buc-ee's grand opening there in the Smokies. Nice. I have not been to a Buc-ee's yet, but I see a lot of videos on it. Places are huge and they have everything, right? All right, so Catherine says still in show low. Eric, okay, Nomadic Fanatic property, making some money. Cool. Oh, you don't like this, huh? All right. Okay, Lily's got to run. Thanks for stopping in, Lily. Appreciate it. Ethanol causes 1,000+ repair on my 4Runner due to degraded rubber clogging my fuel injectors. Oh, interesting. All right, so Joy's too tired to tag. She sees everybody. Griswold Family Vacation is here. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Keep Dave straight if that's possible. I don't know if that's possible. But if anybody can do it, Susan can do it, right? And she says, trying to keep them straight. Going fishing today. We're stocking the lakes here. Oh, cool. Black Canyon Lake is one that we enjoyed fishing at. Didn't catch anything. We got there too late after they stocked it. Most of the fish were all caught by then. That's right. Badge fixes our stuff and fixes our mess. Thanks, buddy. I'm thinking maybe I need to buy a diesel engine schoolie. I bet Badge would help. I am Zaxxon is here. Another good channel. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you. Does some interesting wandering in the desert where he is. Old mines and things like that. All right, so you're 3 degrees cooler than we are. We'll probably be over 108. You're only 105, so get your hoodie out. So ethanol will plug the carbs in no time, yeah. Catherine says it's going to be 90 there today where she's at. Oh, that would be nice if they had a Buc-ee's up there, huh? That would bring more people in for sure. Boondocking Billy is here. Good morning, good morning. Bear bought the food modification poison manufacturer by the name Monsanto, GMO food manipulation of our food supply, yeah. Good to have you. Thank you, Billy, for being here. Appreciate it very much. Let's see what Gracie's got. 58 in Vancouver, high of 78. Wow, that is cool. Very nice. That's perfect. You're right. Misha Lee is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Scrolling. Everybody say 2021 is here. Oop, chat just jumped on me. It's 61 in Newport Beach, Cali. That's pretty nice, pretty nice. Room up here in the motorhome. All the weekend warriors left. So Dave, all right, so what do the crowds look like up there? I've heard different reports that the normal holiday crowds were not there. How is it up there right now? I'm hearing conflicting reports. All right, so we had a visitor, and if you check my channel, I have a couple of videos there, but here's what I want to show you. We had a rattlesnake about 10 feet outside the front door of the house. The snake's inside that barrel and he can smell it. He's looking for it. Good boy, Lucas. Good boy. Good boy. So that's a video of the encounter with the snake. So I grabbed them with a snake grabber. I have a couple of snake grabbers. One's a 4-footer, one's a 5-footer, because you don't want to get too close to them when you need to relocate them or send them to snake heaven. Anyway, my basically the way I handle rattlesnakes, any other snake gets left alone here, but rattlesnakes, if I poke it and he takes off, he lives another day. If he or she wants to stand and defend their ground, I win. So in this case, this rattlesnake did not want to leave. So I sent this one to snake heaven. Yep, no snakes on quartzite. Actually, it's getting hot. Yeah, I know, Mission. That was creepy, I know. A lot of people don't like snakes, and we don't like them either, but, you know, we got them out here, and we get used to them. Oh, Billy says not enjoying Buc-ee's much, too crowded. Oh, Naj is here. Good morning, Naj. Well, good afternoon, probably where you're at. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, that's my strategy for snakes. If they evacuate, they live. If they stand their ground, I can't risk it. I'm not going to risk having Lucas bit or Oki bit or one of the grandkids. So I send them to snake heaven, and that's what I did with this one. So snakes actually can get overheated. I was watching a YouTube video on a company down here in Phoenix who basically responds to snake calls for people that have them in their yard, and they take them out and they relocate them. And they say, and I believe it, that a snake will actually can die of heat stroke. And that's exactly what happened to this one. So I threw the snake in the barrel. And if you saw at the end of that video, I took Lucas over to that area and he picked up on the scent of that snake. And you could see him kind of freak out and hesitate. He was trying to figure out where that snake was. Well, it was inside that barrel, that 55-gallon drum is where I kept it so I could walk him over there. And he went through snake avoidance training here a month or so ago. And I wanted to make sure that he remembered what a rattlesnake smells like, what they sound like, and of course, what they look like. He couldn't see it, but he could smell it. And as soon as he picked up the scent, he knew there was a rattlesnake in the area. So you could see him looking around. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? He didn't see it, so he just backed out of there. He went forward one more time to look for it, didn't find it, and he backed out of there and went around behind me. So I was really happy. Oki and I were both really happy to see that he remembered his training and how to avoid them. Now I'm saying hello. All righty. So that was our rattlesnake encounter. And that's the first one this year. Last year, we didn't have any rattlesnakes up close to the house. I try to to reduce the rodent population by using some bait boxes to keep them out of the yard, because if you have a lot of rodents, pack rats, ground squirrels, then the snakes come in for their food. And so I reduce that population as much as I can by putting some bait boxes around the perimeter of the fenced in area around the house. That takes care of that problem, and it has reduced the number of snakes. One year we had, I think it was 2009, we had 12 snakes that I captured like that to get them away from the house. This year so far, knock on wood, we've only had that one. Now we might have some more. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so glad no one was bit. We went through that before. Oki doesn't like to share it a whole lot, but she actually was bit by a rattlesnake back in 2009. She was down checking the well. We have our own water well, and she was down checking that well, and she actually got bit on the ankle. So she spent the weekend in the hospital in ICU, and she recovered without too much damage. Yeah, glad he remembered his training, and we are too. Yeah, it does happen, Tim, doesn't it? 3 went inside my tent where I stored food, left the bottom zipper open, and they got in. 1 died and 2 barely survived. Yeah, in the heat, that'll happen. Good job, Lucas. Yeah, it happens. It happens, especially when it gets over 100 degrees. Ah, so Gracie's saying you're hot food, Tim. The heat of the day. That's funny. That's funny. All right, so one more thing. Again, don't forget Roy and Becky's Travels is live. Ron Darrell has been ill. Most everybody in the chat here probably knows that he was in the hospital there for a few days. He's back home now and on the mend. So he's doing better. He popped into Avis Live for a few minutes and then went and laid back down for a while. So he's going to try to go live later on today. So if you get a chance to wish him well, be sure to do that. Yeah, she recovered well. So I was on the way to work. I'll tell you this story. I was on the way to work. I was on my motorcycle about halfway to work, and my phone rang. I kept my phone in my pocket, my work shirt pocket. My phone rang. I'm on the bike. I picked the phone up like this, and I see it's Oki. And I said, uh-oh, she wouldn't be calling me unless there was a problem. So I answered real quick. I said, hang on, let me pull over. I pulled over. She said, I got bit by a rattlesnake. I called 911. They're on the way to pick me up. So I hooked the Yui, headed back home right away. Before I got back home, the ambulance was here. They had her loaded up, and they were getting ready to leave and head to the hospital. So they took her into the hospital, and you know what they do? Hope Bus is here. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us, Victoria. They're working on a bus build like no other. It's awesome. Anyway, let's say you get bit on your hand. So you get a rattlesnake that comes up here, and he bites your hand, and you call 911, and your hand starts to swell up. You know what the EMTs do? They actually will mark your hand or your leg or your ankle or whatever it is. They'll put a line across it because you can actually feel the venom advances towards your heart, and there's a ridge, there's a hard ridge that develops in your skin, and you can feel it. So they'll take a pen and they'll draw a line, and they'll put the day and the time, and then they haul you to the hospital, and that venom continues to move right up your extremity, your leg or your arm. And then what they do is they watch how it advances. When they administer the anti-venom to you, it's supposed to stop that, right? And so what they did was they gave her anti-venom and they monitored that advancement, and it was about every hour, every 2 hours, they would draw another line. This was on her leg. They would draw another line, put the day and the time. As they administer the anti-venom, that's how they can tell if it works, besides the fact of doing blood work. They do blood work to check how that's working, but they look at the anti-venom and what it's doing to your body as it advances up there. At any rate, she went through the treatment, and she spent 3 days in the hospital and then came home. But she said it felt like after she was bit, it felt like somebody had stabbed a knife into her ankle. That's how the pain is, like an ice pick or a knife going in there. She said it was really bad. But she's tough and she pulled through okay, so we're thankful for that. Yeah, she got bit. Yeah, it was scary for sure. But, we live in their, this is where they live, and we're living amongst them. They were here before we were. Talked to Ron last Wednesday while he was in the hospital. Oh, yeah, it was hot down in Texas too, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they took good care of him. Anyway, he's on the mend. Yeah, not a fun experience. Not a fun experience. All right, so we'll give up on the snakes and hope we don't have any more. Have you guys noticed a lot of scam artists trying to trick you? I'm seeing that. So smart, I would do that when I worked in childcare to keep track of it growing. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how they do it. Misha says, a friend of mine got bit in basic and almost lost her leg. It swelled up 4 times in width. Yep. The first thing you do, you get bit by a rattlesnake, if you're ever out here in the desert, is you call 911 or have somebody call for you. Once you call them, they're not going to let you hang up until the ambulance gets there. But that is the best thing. You want to get them rolling towards you, regardless of where you're at. I mean, they'll send a chopper out or whatever they need to do to get you back in. Because if you wait too long, that venom advances up your arm or your leg, and it causes a lot of damage. Yep, I heard about those scammers, saw a few through spam text and email. I'm getting that too. Let me show you what I got recently. And it almost tricked me into clicking on it. I've got a couple of these through email. Let me see where it is. Background, look through my backgrounds. I did a screenshot of it. Going up to the top here. Okay, so here it is right here. Here's a text message that I got. Now, why would someone send me a text message? Now, FedEx, for example, will send you a text message when you have a package delivered. You can opt in for that, right? So I do that. We live out in a rural area, so I like to know when FedEx is going to show up. And so they always send a text message. We'll be delivering a package tomorrow between noon and 4 o'clock. Okay, so I'm ready for it. And then I get one of these. You have a package on hold to receive further instructions on how to release the package. Please visit the following website. That doesn't look like FedEx's website, does it? And I've got these, I got an email like this too, except that the page on the email looked just like FedEx's website. And I actually clicked on it, and then as soon as I saw it, I said, that doesn't look right. And I backed out of it, and luckily I have spam protection and didn't get hacked or anything, but be careful, be careful. There's a lot of this going on out there, and they're getting bolder and bolder. Ooh, gators. No, thank you. Water moccasins. I'll pass on those. Oh, you guys are winning lots of prizes. Costco gift and card and tools. I report them all. Yeah, I do too. Delete and report. They're getting trickier to try to lure us in. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. I'm afraid to do that, Misha. I always hit reply. If it's spam, it has a weird address. And the text that I got had a phone number on it. And I thought maybe I should call the phone number and see. But, they spoof those phone numbers too. So Tim says they text you from your bank's number. Okay, so that's using your bank's phone number. And then trick you into giving them your login. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they get some people. They almost got me. Oh yeah, I got that too, Tim. Amazon account frozen. I got one of those too. Yeah, don't you want to reach in and just strangle these people? Why do they do that stuff? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. All right, what else is going on here? We're at 42 minutes in. You have a package on hold. Yeah, that's what I had. All right, so I was watching Ava Potterfield's live this morning, and Teddy in there, old car junkie, said he was still out of power up there where he's at. He had a storm roll through, and that got me to thinking our monsoons storm should be rolling in here. In fact, it's starting to cloud up a little bit. Yesterday, the humidity was 10%. Today, it's at 20%, so it doubled, which tells us that moisture is moving up from Mexico. When that happens, when we get that moist air flowing through up from Mexico, and then we get the 100+ degree days, that spawns these big storms that we have. Yeah, they're trying not to work for a living. You got that right, Julie. Okay, so Victoria says, make a paste with saliva, water, and cover the bite while you're waiting for help. The fact that you live in Arizona, would you believe that to be correct? I think, Victoria, if you did that, you were out in the boonies and you had, let's say, an hour or 2 hours before someone got help to you, that might help. But out here in southern Arizona, all the emergency services know when they get a call for a snake bite that's priority one, and they beeline right to you. They know it's critical to get you in. All right, Badge. They try to steal his identity. They give it back. I don't think so. You're a big teddy bear. Yeah. Anyone asking for a password or login info is a scam, right, Gracie? They do it so we can make fun of them on our live streams, right, Roy? Yeah. And Roy, I'm still waiting to try that out on a phone call. I'm not getting phone calls anymore. I used to get a lot of phone calls, and Roy a couple of times said when he would get a phone call, he would pick it up, and he knew it was somebody spamming him, and he would do this. He'd say, "Hey, yeah, how you doing? Did you get my text message? We're out of body bags. We're low on body bags. When you guys come out, can you bring some with you?" Click, and they usually hang up. I want to try that one someday. Starting to think Campbell River weather's not so bad. You're right. It's not bad up there. Of course, you guys have the winters, but it's not a bad winter, right? It's pretty moderate. Oh, there's Teddy right there. He's just talking about you, Teddy, and what you guys were experiencing up there with the power outages. I learned today for the first time that Teddy is actually a retired lineman, and I guess he went back to work. But he and I share some experience. I was a technician, substation technician, equipment technician, power quality technician. I did all those things in the electric utility here in southern Arizona for 20 years. So it was good to learn. Teddy and I share some stuff, some experience there. Brene is here. Fairy Dust. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's a good one. I've been waiting to use that. They quit calling me too, Roy says. So now they're sending text messages, and I'm not getting the calls for your car warranty is expiring anymore. That was going on for quite a while. Yeah, it was a good one. Click, they just hang up, right? All right, Brene. Question is, when's your next adventure? 023 just finished up. It was fun to watch everybody's videos on that. Mo Bang for Your Bucks was up there cooking for everybody again. And it was fun to watch. Everybody sharing their time up there. Looks like everybody had a great time up there in Oregon. Next comes M23. All right. That's what Bené's up to, heading to M23. And I think Tim's going to go too, right? All right. But don't run into anybody, Nosh. We'd rather not have you in a car accident. I love that job, but I'm still glad it's behind me. I hear you. Some of the toughest work, folks, that there is to do, in my opinion, there's a lot of tough jobs. But when you have a storm come in and it blows, 20 or 30 poles down, and you've got line laying on the ground, you've got flooding, storms in the area, lightning, and you've got thousands of people out of power, that's one of the toughest jobs there is getting out there, assessing the damage. That's what you have to do first. So when your power goes out, you call the power company, and always call them, by the way, always call them, because it could be just your transformer out of power. You call them and you say, hey, Trico Electric, my power is out. Can you help me out? Yeah, okay, we got you on the list. We'll get you back on as soon as we can. So you sit down and you wait. You look out your window and you wait and you wait and you say, man, it's taken a long time. What is the problem? Well, you don't really know unless they have a website or a Facebook page. If they have 20 poles down between you and where the substation is, they got to put all those poles back up or reroute the power a different direction to get you back in power. So the first thing they do, they call line crews out, they call technicians out if they need them, and then everybody goes out there to the area that's out of power, determines what kind of damage do we have, how many poles do we have down, how much wire is down, what areas are out of power, and then they start thinking and talking about, okay, can we reroute power from a different direction? And then that becomes the priority. So if they can reroute power, they have to basically make that work area safe they set up. Then they start rerouting power different directions to get in, to get people back in power. But if you're sitting on a street with a pole down in your front yard, you're going to be one of the last to come on, because they've got to fix that pole, put that wire back up before they can get your power back on. So it's a big, big undertaking. And with the monsoon starting to roll in, I can actually see clouds to the south there towards Mexico. We're going to have some of those storms and probably have outages also. Oh yeah, Roy's got some free air conditioning from the sun. It's pretty awesome. So when you're talking about power outages, I got no excuse. You got to go, Tim. You got to go. Ah, well said, Misha Lee. At this point in my life, I don't want anything for free except for kindness. Well said. Well said. All right, Tim, we're getting you booked up. Decision maker. Yeah, Johnny's Journey has some camping areas there. Got a new shop set up. She's good to go now. So when we're talking about storms, what do you guys do? What do you guys do in case the power goes out? How do you prepare for that? Well, flashlights. We've always learned that you should have flashlights available, right? In case the power goes out, you want to be able to see. Battery packs. I got a battery pack here that I keep for charging the phone. And then this one is a solar power. But that's a nice battery pack. I have a couple of them. And then it's got little LEDs on it so I can see the state of charge. So you have battery packs in case the power goes out. Roy has a solar setup on his RV, so you don't have to worry about power outages when you're full timing or you're in your RV. Oki and I have a house here where we live at home base. And so we have solar here in case we need it. Almost at my 2-year mark for retirement. Awesome. Retired life is cool, huh, Gracie? Although I seem busier now than I used to be when I was working. Nothing, yeah, there's nothing like getting people's power back on. My transformer was laying in my front yard for 7 days, but I'm on now. That's good. Teddy. That's good. 7 days out of power. So, Teddy, what did you guys do? Did you have a generator or something to where you could survive? Because think, you have a refrigerator, right? If your power goes out, your food's going to go bad. So, do you go get ice? How do you deal with that? So, think about that. Do the wells replenish after monsoon season? They do. In fact, our well is struggling right now because it's so dry. We have to get about 3 inches of rain before we see a difference in the well in the pumping output. So let's see, Tim has a 300 watt hour power station and solar panels. That's good. So you're set up. All right, 2-hour coffee's over. We got to get going. We got to get home. We're an hour away. Thanks, Badge, for popping in. We'll see you later. Thanks very much. All right, so Joy says we still live in an RV, so we have a generator and many power banks plus solar generator. That's good. So you have flashlights, you have power banks, you have solar panels, and what about a refrigerator? I have a 12-volt refrigerator that we have in the RV that we can drag in if we need it. Or if we need to, we can actually move into the RV and live in there if we have to. We used it in Tulsa, Oklahoma when I stayed there during the power outage. Yeah. So I've been playing around with solar for the last couple of years. And, you know, when you buy solar panels for your house like this, let me get that off of there. Oh, Paula's here. Hi, Paula. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it very much. Paula is another great channel to follow. Boy, oh boy, what a great live stream she had the other night. Great live stream. Check it out. Look at Paula's last live stream. Very interesting. Anyway, so I have some solar panels. I have about 1,200 watts here, various solar panels that I can move around and face to the sun. And so this is important for me to have some backup power for when the monsoons come in. And you have to convert that solar to electricity. So I have that Rover solar controller right there on the right. You can see I have 10 amps coming in. That basically charges that white battery you see right there. That's a 200 amp hour lithium battery. Then I have that 2,000 watt box. That's an inverter. So that converts 12 volts to 120 volts. And then you can see that yellow plug that I have plugged in there. That actually runs my evap cooler. So I have an old Master Cool evaporative cooler that's on wheels that I have in the garage, and I basically turn it on, run it on solar, and I cool the house with solar and that Master Cool roll-around unit. Works really well. So I'm spending money on solar panels. I'm spending money on battery inverter, right, for emergencies, to have emergency power. But I like the idea of being able to use it every day during the summer before the monsoon rains come in. When it's dry, this evap cooler will keep the house cool. And it works really well. I also have an outlet here in my office that's on the solar all the time. And so I charge all my devices off of solar power. and I keep that inverter on 24/7, 365. So it works really well, even though I don't use it. If if the power is out, I don't need it. I'm actually using that equipment that I spent good money for to do other things, and that is to cool the house, keep batteries charged, have some lighting here in the office that I use, that sort of thing. So it works really well for that. All right, let me catch up. Yeah, you're right. It's addicting. I like the challenge of it. Solar is addicting. Hi, my name is Roy, and I'm addicted to solar. It's really cool, um, to be able to, invest money. And that's the key is you spend money on this solar equipment, but what do you get out of it? And so what I'm doing is I'm saving money on my electric bill. If I can run the EVAP cooler, it runs at about 240 watts of power. The air conditioner, $50 a month to run that. If I can run the EVAP cooler, that costs me $25 a month. So every month I can run it, I'm gaining my investment back, and that's what I like. Paul is saying hello. Oh, Shark vacuums on sale. Yeah, so Smoky Mountains Blessed did a minor channel change, but Joy and Donnie work on that together. Yeah, Renogy's good stuff. Dave, thank you very much. And that's a good point. Tim says it's very important to test out your equipment before you actually need it. And that comes from that military mind that Tim has that we share together. You always test and make sure everything is ready to go, right? All right, so Brene has a question. What's the highest wattage one solar panel has? The ones that I have are about 255 watts, and they're pretty heavy. You don't want anything that big for nomadic life. You want the smaller 100-watt panels, or the foldable panels work good too. $0.81 per kilowatt hour. Yeah, I think we're about close to 10. 8 cents, right? You mean 8 cents? I think 450 watts at 24 volts is the biggest. Okay. And that's probably one of those folding panels, right? That you can fold up and put away. Okay, one that can install above the rig. So for what I put on the RV were 250 watt panels. I put 3 of them up there, and then I put a couple of 100-watt panels, which are smaller, easier. So probably 250 watt panels, Brene. Those are good size, but it depends on the size of your rig. So you have to fit the solar physical size of the panels to the rig that you have. Now on a van, you're probably only going to get a 100-watt panel on there, not much more. Hey, there's Lance. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Doing well here, Lance. Boondocking with Boomer, another great channel. Yeah, Coast Guard, Semper. I don't even know how to pronounce that, Dave. You got to be a Coast Guard guy. I'm an Air Force guy. I don't know how to pronounce that. The weight capacity, exactly. Weight and the size, Brene. The weight of the panel and the size of the panel are the two key components before you decide what to buy. All right, soon we won't be able to run the generator. Next week, I'm adding more solar to combat that issue. Yeah, and the clouds too, Roy, when the clouds move in, that's going to reduce our solar output too. So Tim thinks 250 watts, good size. There's Merton and Sue, traveling Merton and Sue. Good morning, good morning. Well, good afternoon where you guys are at. Merton and Sue are full timers, sold their house, moved into their RV, doing some part-time work while they're over there in Massachusetts area. And then they're going to hit the road in September. They do a live stream every weekend too, twice a week now. They're starting Wednesday live stream, so always a good time chatting with them. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Donnie's a Coast Guard too. Merton Sue saying hello. My son and family will be returning to the U.S. from Okinawa. Oh, awesome. Guantanamo. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's where Oki and I met, was Okinawa, Japan. Beautiful place, beautiful place. I loved it there. Loved the culture there. Loved the island. Loved everything about it. And then met this beautiful young lady and we got married, and that was 37 years ago. And here we are in sunny Arizona. Took an island girl off of Okinawa and brought her to the desert, and believe it or not, she's happy. Oh, my daughter builds solar field substations. Yeah, they're putting a lot of those in here too, Teddy. Supplying power with solar out here, that's a pretty good business. Brother Coasty. Well, I have 3,600 watts of power and I don't have any solar. Boomer Lance saying hello. One that's 250, it's 48 volt. The rest of our panels are 36 volt. And so you got to pay attention to the voltage too. You have to separate them. So if you have different voltages, you have to separate those into a different controller. You can't mix them. You can't mix panels with different voltages, right, Roy? Good to see you, Lance. Glad you're here. Oh yeah, grandkids are the greats. Yeah, we love our grandkids. They're cool. Once you can get gas, as your generator is a dead weight for your power system. Yeah. If the power goes out and you have widespread outages, and I keep about 30 gallons of gas set aside for that reason too. I'm a prepper from way back, so I do all that stuff. All right, get a long van, 4 300-watt panels, 1,200 watts on top, but maybe that's too heavy. If you get a 3/4 ton van, Brene, you should be okay. It depends on the size. I think you might be okay. You just have to measure and plan it ahead of time. Yeah, can't get gas, right, Tim? You can fit 3 250 watt panels on a van. Okay, 3 on. So Brene, looks like you could do 3. That's kind of, I was thinking 4 is probably a little bit too much. I don't think that'll fit. Belize Chubby's here. Hello, hello. Coming in from the Philippines. Most generators will not run after 104 degrees. Yeah, they overheat, they're not going to run for sure. Thanks, Dave. She's put up with me a long time. Your RV charging your power bank, and once you can't get, Tim says, Yeah, you got to think of all that stuff. Like Teddy, they were out of power for 7 days. His transformer was laying in his front yard. He knows what it's like to get power back on. Saying hello. Wisconsin, your daughter's in Wisconsin. Okay. Yeah, solar, what they call built solar to scale makes economic sense. When you have a large solar farm, it does make money and makes sense to invest in it. And most companies will lease their solar farms to the utility. That's what happens here in Arizona. So boondock for 3 weeks with my system. Okay, that's good. You can't argue with that. Tim, when I was in Tulsa, no power and people scrambled to get gas. Yeah. Talk about chaos. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Oh, can't mix panels with different wattages. Yeah, not a big difference anyway. I've got a 250 and a 255, but smaller panels, yeah, that's not a good idea. No worries, Gracie, no worries. Tommy saying hello. No, you don't want to blow up. That's right. Natural gas. And natural gas would stay running, right, during, okay, so you had a generator running with natural gas. That would stay pressurized while your power was out. That's good. They do have those foldable panels, right, Roy? The flexible panels that you can put on, and those are lightweight. I don't think they're as efficient as the heavier panels. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Drive to the nearest car dealership, charge them there for free. That's interesting. All right, so I'm out of here, Gracie says, and we're well over an hour. So let me, interesting way of getting them charged. Yeah. Here's a question before we leave. Has anyone had trouble doing a live stream out and about on a phone, have it pixelated and downgraded video? We've seen that a lot lately. I think it's probably just the system overloading, right? There's a lot of people on there. 13,000 acres. That's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah, that's what they have here about that 300 acres. All right. You guys going fishing? Welcome to the fishing pond, and good luck on your fishing. It could be YouTube. I suspect that it's probably the cell system that's doing that, but you have to do some experimenting, maybe different times a day. All right, you guys have a great day. Flexible panels are junk. Everyone that I know had them, no longer use them. Yeah, they're definitely a temporary solution for sure. Make sure your setting is set to 720. Gets defaulted back to 1080 sometimes, yeah. Hey, Ringo, thanks for popping in. Have a great day and week. Our generator starts 10 seconds, then it starts automatically. That's nice. That's very nice. Very cool. Well, interesting discussion with everybody today. Thanks very much for coming in. And especially channel members, I'm going to run the channel member real quick. If anyone is interested in contributing 99 cents a month, click on that join. And you can be a channel member also and make it to this one. So thank you, channel members. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, everyone who comes into my live streams. Always appreciated. We will see you next time. Have a great Monday and have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much.